Not yet. There we go. Welcome to the PARAcast. I'm your host, Tomas the Boss Hernandez, joining you large and in charge with a 45 caliber handgun. Which camera? That handgun. Anyways, joining me tonight.
I can see my life flashing before my eyes when you point that at the camera, Tom.
Wow. Joining me tonight, he's so fat he won't even float in space. It's Steve Koski.
Hey, zero gravity has certain benefits.
You will fall to the edge of the universe, sir. You will fall. Anyways, and you see a street musician, he sees an easy $30. It's Robert Wyatt.
Hey, money's money.
Street position. Are you
Street
talking about
musician. Street musician.
Oh, at the street position. I was like, is this a place the panhandlers fight over where you can get good money at the off ramp or next to the Home Depot?
Yeah. I told my daughter, I was like, hey, sweetheart, you want to make an extra $10 a day at work? When everyone's going through the drive-through and you're on your lunch, just go around back with the Windex and the rag. You know, just a little spray on, wipe off, hand out, $2. So
You only need one rag. You can go all day.
yeah.
Don't run out of Windex. Oh, you could spit. You can spit on the windshield if you run out of Windex.
Yeah.
That's always a good.
Or you could be naked and just pee everywhere, and then they'll pay you to move. So like that's an extra thing to do to make money. It's like now. Remember when it was like you could just hustle to make money, and now it's like, listen, I'm gonna be such an annoyance. You're gonna pay me to leave, and you're gonna be thankful that you did it. So that's the way you could go.
Alternately, you can just call for an Uber Eats, and then when the poor dude shows up, you can just steal his car.
Steal his car.
I mean, it didn't work so well in Washington.
Oh
DC.
my!
In theory, that would be a.
Where the
and
guys?
since they're underage, they got a plea deal, so they're good to go.
Well, you can test how far civilization has fallen is when you have a dead man there, and one of the robbers who's sitting there on site is like, "Hold on, let me get my phone." It's like this guy's dying, but my phone's in there. Okay. Anyways, dogs are yelling. This is great.
How many dogs do you have, Nelson?
I just have one. It's just.
Is his name Ruger?
No, it's
High Point.
Clover, and it's not mine. Hope it dies. Anyways,
You what? Say that again.
what? Nothing. What? Hope it
I'm not
dies.
editing anything.
What? I didn't hear
What?
you.
We're not editing this show, Nelson.
No.
It's just getting posted as is.
Sorry. I hope it dies. Anyways, I was in the Walmart gun care section this week. Last Monday I was in there, and I was like, you know what? I don't have a bore snake in 9mm. I'm gonna go grab a bore snake in 9mm. And ever since Hoppies has bought bore snake, so they're like $10 for a 9mm bore snake, which is like that's a great buy. Like bore snakes are great. And then I bought some of this Hops Elite foaming cleaner, and I'll tell you what. This is the best barrel scrubbing solvent I have ever used in my life. That with the bore snake has literally cleaned out all the barrels I have and has just made it absolutely just spotless. It's fantastic.
I tell you, since I started going and shooting nationals, and since Hoppies started sponsoring all the safe areas, I mean, they would actually like put out like bore snakes and cleaning solvent
No
for
way.
anybody. No, yeah, seriously, they'd put it out there, and you could just come take it home. I saw it through in my bag, and I brought it all home with me.
You could take it home, or you're supposed to leave it there for other people to use.
What the problem is at those big
I
matches.
don't leave anything for anybody. I know how this game is played. If you leave it on the stage, it becomes property of me.
Well, the one thing is too is like after everything's cleaned up, whatever's on the prize table that's left is yours. That's the way the rules work. So you just go in there and you go. Like that one match where we still have Lucas gun oil from 6-7 years ago. So that's what you do.
Yeah,
How
still
many
got
of my
6 or
brass
7
squib
bottles.
rods do you have?
I don't have any of your squib rods. I actually bought like this. It was like 36-inch of
Yeah.
brass rod from Amazon one, and like cut it down into pieces. And you know what's funny is of all that, I think I have maybe like 4 inches of this stuff left. They've all suddenly mysteriously gone walkabout.
Okay, same way mine have.
Yeah.
I still have my plastic one that Jackson sent me.
Is if you have a brass like a squib rod, you need to do like take like a cue out of the gas stations and put a big some like CMU block on the end of it, so that they can't walk off with it.
But you
That's gonna be
got
the
to
key.
change to a hubcap.
Exactly. Even then, they'll probably still take it, but at least you know who's got it.
So what other thing I did today? I did last week is I detailed stripped an HK45.
How many parts are
What?
left?
Down to every last roll pin?
It's actually not too bad. It's much easier than Beretta. It's perfectly in between a Glock and a Beretta 92. The funny
You
thing
realize
is,
you've just like spread the gamut of like
yes.
simple from holy Jesus is complicated. So you're really not like giving us any kind of descriptor on that.
Well, the one thing about the Beretta is that I'm so used to it, I don't think of it as hard anymore. But like the first time you detail strip a Beretta, it's pretty crazy. But on the old HK45, let's strip this down real quick. Um, so the ejector is actually molded into the frame, but like there's a
Oh, this is some great radio, Tom.
yeah, this is
Keep
great.
it up.
Anyways, it's a video podcast too now. But anyways, this like there's four pieces right there: the catch, the control lever, the sear,
The
and everything.
cruciform?
There's no cruciform, unfortunately, but
Oh.
there is a catch. There is a catch on this one, and what it does is it catches the hammer when you decock. So
When
like
you touch decock?
yeah, when you touch the cock, it catches the hammer. So I pulled that apart and I was like looking at it, and then I was looking online. It's like, okay, who's making springs? Let's get this double action under control. And then I was reading, and I was like, so like the standard for USP's 45 is a 16-pound hammer spring. And so I was like,
Jeez.
okay, well, there's like good because they make like a 14, a 12, and a 10. I was like, I can get this thing lighter. And then I read further, the HK45s ship with the 12. So yeah, and so
You already
like
have the 12.
I already have the
Coils.
I already have the 12, and when you pull it out, it's like this long, like 2.5 inch, like spring. So it's just there. So I thought about getting a 10, but I went in there and I cleaned it up. I kind of got an understanding how the trigger works, so I can possibly go in there and then possibly maybe polish it,
Yeah,
but
boy.
so. Yeah, I was doing that. Realized my hand strength is about 80% of what it used to be. So that's not good, especially when shooting a 45. But then
What's wrong with your hand strength?
I just
You've
haven't
got
been
pinched nerves?
I haven't been like gripping the gun as well. And then I haven't been using my hand strength stuff. And then I've been doing like less boxes at work, so I'm not holding as much. And so I found my old Captain's a Crush things, and I've been playing around with
that's
those.
definitely a solution.
You're going to put yourself in the emergency room with those things.
Dude,
Well,
I know, right?
I can close a 150 with my left hand, but I can't close a 200 with my left hand. And I used to be able to close a 250 with my right, but can't close the 250 with my right. Can barely close a 200. So I've lost a bunch of.
I don't know. I've
grip
tested
strength.
those Captains of Crush of yours, those the knockoff brand anyway, and those things decidedly didn't feel like 250.
Well, you didn't
I mean,
close
were
a
you,
250.
were you clipping coils on that?
No, I was not clipping coils. I was stressed. I was heating them up in the oven and then closing them. But yeah, so I went out there. The last thing I did in shooting was last Saturday. I went out there and I grouped a couple guns, and I grouped the HK45, which at 20 yards, 21 yards, somewhere around there, I had it on the old Caldwell Pistolero rest, and I fired 4 shots, and I could not see where they were impacting on the bullseye piece of paper. So I was like,
They were
"That's
down in the dirt?
hold on."
Let me guess. They were skipping over the target.
So I couldn't see and then on the 5th shot, I saw an impact. I was like, "Okay, so let's walk down there." On the bottom edge of the bullseye, just right there all together, are 4 rounds, like just pretty much stacked together, and then the 5th one, the one I pulled, is down below. But all 5-shot group was 2.5 inches. The 4-shot group before I pulled one was 1 inch and 3/8 at 20 yards at 45 with the 200 grain gallon bullet on tight group. And so it was like, I love this thing. This is the best thing
That's
ever.
great.
Yeah, it's really accurate. The problem is I will go and shoot B8 targets, like stand at 10 yards and shoot B8 targets. I can't hit crap with it. So
What?
I got something going on with me. If
Is
I
it your hand strength? You can't. Is the first shot?
one, it's
Is it
kind of
double action?
the gun is kind of slick. And so when I grab it, it kind of shifts on me, and then it's a 45, but it's only 130 power factor ammo. So
Borrow
hopefully,
some of Robert's gun chalk, his grip chalk.
I think I'm actually gonna have to go to grip chalk because I'm not gonna stipple this frame because this gun's expensive. So not doing that. But that's my latest of what I've been up to, trying to get ready for some IDPA match. I'm happy that last match was canceled.
Tom, I've seen you knock $100 off the value of about 7 different guns.
Oh
So
yeah.
Why not keep it going with 8?
Well, I haven't knocked off any value out of my TRP, my Wilson Combat, or my HK45. You have
Because
to
you
be,
sold them too quick.
well, no, they're still here. I still have them. You just have to be born under the $500 star for me to allow myself to modify you. So if your MSRP is $500 or less, then I'll modify you.
Was the CZ that you roll pinned the front that you took
No, it was
the hammer to
Carl's.
the front sight
It was
under
Carl's CZ.
$500?
It was Carl's CZ. Yes, it was
Carl.
500.
Oh, you modified Carl's CZ.
Well,
Well
because
done.
the CZs they have that pin that you have to drill out the factory front sight to change the sight and then put a pin in. And I was drilling it at yeah, shut up, Robert. Anyways, I was drilling this thing and the drill bit broke. And so it like marred up this side. And so we bought two matching CZ75 Omegas. And so I
Robert,
said,
have you ever had a
take
friend
mine.
break a hammer? It's Tom.
Apparently Tommy.
Well,
Probably break a hammer.
you laugh, but I did break an inertia hammer, lest we forget. Remember that? So, anyways, that's what I was up to.
Everybody's broken an inertia hammer over time, especially in this crowd where everybody has all the buckets of bullets that haven't been pulled.
Yeah, but mine broke on my own ammunition, so let's.
The old squib.
The old squib. So, what you been up to, Robert?
So I bought a Langdon stopped selling their LTTs, the Elites, because they couldn't get them from Beretta anymore. And so I kind of like on an impulse decided I was just going to buy one of their rodeo slides. So I bought a rodeo slide, and then I talked to a friend, and he hooked me up with a the Holosun 507C. And so in theory, in a couple weeks, I should see that thing coming. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it, but it was sort of one of those deals where I was just like, man, I don't know if Langdon's going to like keep making these things. So on principle, I'm just going to buy one.
Well, the funny thing is about that, it's like everyone's in a position where like, hey, whatever you ordered a year ago, we're going to ship you that many. And when you ask for more, guess what we're going to say? No. We're going to say no. And so, which is funny is like no vendors could restock PX4s. And then Langdon got a bunch of PX4s and the RDO mounts because the PX4s are made in Italy. So I don't know if COVID caught up or Italy caught up, but like everything is catch as catch can right now. So it's like I told Robert, you buy one RDO slide, you start liking it, you're gonna have to go buy a second one before he runs out of stock.
Honestly, goodness, I may just buy another one just so I have it sitting in the safe. I mean, I've got two Berettas, and so I may as well have two rodeo slides. Oh yeah, and then I also bought a barrel to go with it so that I didn't have to actually change out the barrel. Because I figured, why not?
Wait,
Boy,
hold
life
on.
is good.
No
Life is
kidding.
good in the Wyatt home.
Well,
No.
when you're working as much as I work, yeah, you kind of get paid for it. You're just trading your life for it.
So you have two slides. Well, you have three slides.
Mm-hmm.
You have two barrels.
Mm-hmm.
The barrels are interchangeable, but you decided you wanted to stop yourself from having to take one barrel out of one gun and putting it in the other slide.
That takes time. I mean, let's be honest here. But then, funny enough, I actually talked to a buddy up in northern Utah, and since obviously production doesn't mean anything, and Carry Optics doesn't either, he's making these tungsten guide rods, and he doesn't actually make them for the Beretta. And so we got talking. I'm like, hey, I'm just curious, do you actually make it? And he's like, no, but it'd be really fun to experiment with. And I'm like, I know somebody who has a Beretta, and we could experiment with it. And he's like, done and done. Send me all the details. So I got my CAD program, and I drew up a detail of the guide rod and sent it off to him. And so he's gonna be playing around with it. But it should be fun. It should be fun.
Wow. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. You know what? In 200 years, we're going to need tungsten for some reason, and they're going to go, where did all the tungsten go? And they're like, oh, in the early 2020s, USPSA increased their weight limit to
6 month period. There was a purchasing bonanza before the rules got their head pulled out of their materials.
Now, the funny thing, though, is I'm not sure that it's really a huge return. If you have the steel guide rod in the Beretta, that comes with the LTT already, the gun is very, very well balanced. I like the way the gun returns on itself. And so it's more of an interesting experiment than anything, because it's like so many things out there. You put it in there and you mess around with it, and if you're standing on the line and you're just firing 1, 2, 3 shot like that, you're like, oh yeah, I noticed a difference. But then when the match is going, you're actually like running around shooting things as quick as you can. All those differences kind of don't really manifest themselves.
Yeah.
And you're just like, the gun just works. And that's what I noticed with the Shadow 2. I mean, I ran those heavy grips for a year, and then I pulled them off, and I shot a stage, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really notice a dang thing. So am I really gaining a lot other than a heavier gun? It's like, well, probably not.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Steve?
Well, I signed up for a USPSA match, and I signed up on Robert's squad, and then I decided that I'd been out of town for 4 days, and I didn't want to sleep for like 5 hours and then go shoot a match, so I didn't. And then I looked up at the scores at the end of the match to see how Robert did, and I see that he didn't show up either.
I didn't show up
either. It's like, that son of a bitch, I don't even get to live vicariously through his score.
Oh man, I woke. It's funny because I woke up that morning. I was talking to Dirk the night before, and I was feeling like crap. It'd been a long week at work, and I went to bed on Friday, and I'm like, I'm probably not gonna go. And then I woke up like really early Saturday morning. I looked at the clock, and I'm like, nope, no, not gonna happen. I just rolled over and went back to bed and woke up at 8.
Yeah, about midnight Friday, I was like, this ain't happening.
Not doing it. Not doing it. It's funny.
Yeah, it's LTD anyway, so it's not like you're really
I
missing
love
out.
LTD.
I hate LTD.
It's 90% USPSA legal.
It's mostly legal, and that ain't bad. Like the one thing is, like, we had worse weather. I had worse sleep that time. We drove all the way up there a couple weeks ago to go shoot a match that got canceled. Like, those were far worse conditions. Like 5 hours of sleep would have been sunshine compared to that.
Oh, and Saturday was gorgeous. I mean, it
Yeah.
was the best day you could actually go out to shoot. I mean, you'd still need like thermals, but it was like 70 degrees.
Yeah.
I rode my mountain bike till the wheels about came off of it, so I got outside.
I barbecued carne asada. It was a fantastic day. It was a great day.
No wonder your grip strength is down.
I know.
You're getting soft, Nelson. You're
I am.
forking out.
I remember I used to be able in the old M&P with its inferior polymer. I used to be able to squeeze real hard with my right hand and see a little flex in the gun. I'd be like, yeah, that's right. I'm effing strong. You wish to be strong, head over to DominateDefense.com, get a belt, get one of their fantastic belts. They're excellent belts. They're of great quality. Once you get them, you'll be spoiled. You'll not want to use anything else. And so not having shot with IDPA gear, I've been practicing with it. And the one thing that you notice is how much sturdier a double belt system is than a single belt, especially when you're hanging 8 rounds at 230 grain off of a HK45. But anyways, I threw it in there, and I had it on the Dominate Defense duty belt. Not duty belt, but the regular carry belt. And it was nice. It was beautifully secured. I loved it. Head on over to DominateDefense.com. Use promo code PARA10 for 10% off your order. PARA10 at DominateDefense.com. Also, head over to GallantBullets.com. Get in an order, get a fantastic set of bullets for a great price, and use promo code PewPro10 for your emails first order. PewPro10 for your emails first order. Also, Patreon.com.
Order today, and you'll get it by 2023.
We're shipping. We're shipping by 2023. Use promo code President Kamala.
Because it's true.
I know. Use promo code President Kamala, and by 2023, if she's president, you'll receive 20% off your order. Also, check on head on Lights, Subscribe, Start, and Patreon.com. $1 might get you a longer, uncensored version of the show. Check us out on Telegram. Join our little group where we ask questions, you can answer them, or we can answer them. Either way, it all works out in the end. Robert.
All right, from Rob Shafis. I keep buying suppressors with my stimulus money. Am I doing this right? Yes.
I would
yes,
say
you
yeah.
are, sir. I mean,
There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean,
Game on,
American
baby.
right there.
I've been watching stuff on suppressors and 45 caliber handguns since I got this HK. I'm just in love with the whole idea of it. And like 45 is like the best damn suppressor round right off the bat. It's like when they made that
22 is the best suppressor round, bar none.
That Mossad video of the 22 caliber Beretta and all the operations they killed people with that suppressed 22. Yeah, it was pretty neat, especially the airplane raid where everyone's charging the airplane with the 22 caliber Berettas. So, yeah, you have to watch it. It's a 9-hole review video on YouTube. It's really good. 9 holes, fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, like 45 is just great. It's just fantastic in a suppressed gun. It's slow. It's quiet. It packs. It's already 230 grains when it hits. You know, it's great. It's a great bullet. But anyways, I digress. Now you're not doing it wrong. Suppressors. I'm guessing suppressors aren't going to get any cheaper in the future.
And I tell you, the best suppressors are the ones you make yourself. I'm not saying actually Form 1 it, but I mean, the best ones are the ones you make yourself. You'll just leave that right there. Moving along, from Dirk Hopkins, would you rather take a punch in the nads from Chuck Norris or Stallone?
Ooh.
Tough call.
Well, here's the one thing.
Stallone's at the right height. He just
Yeah.
would punch straight ahead, and he'd probably get me about there.
And I've seen him on a speed bag. He's pretty good. Was it Dolph Lundgren said him and Sylvester Stallone were messing around on the set of Rocky 4, and Stallone like punched him and like basically laid Dolph Lundgren out for a little bit. So Stallone can hit. The question is that he's not a master. So like Chuck Norris, is going to be 10 for 10 in the accuracy rating, but if Stallone connects, it's probably going to hurt more. So it's all a question. What do you want?
If he's got a good producer and a director there to help him, Stallone could do okay.
He could do okay. Well, I'm just afraid if he misses and like hits my thigh or like my hip flexors, like I'm just out for that. Anyway, I'd take Chuck Norris. I would take Chuck Norris because I feel like I would survive it more. I'd be in the hands of a master there.
I'm just saying, who's all the memes been made about? It's not Stallone.
It's not Stallone. It's
So,
not.
Chuck's won fights.
Yeah,
Stallone has been in movies about fights.
for Mark Miller, I'm confused. Which day is it? It's Monday.
It's Monday. Sorry.
We took Easter off. Cut us some slack.
It was Easter and my son's 18th birthday yesterday, all on the same day.
He says, on a serious note, have you tried Shooter's World powder, and what is it similar to, and did you like or dislike it?
Shooter's World powder. I am unfamiliar.
I know it. I have it. I think I have 15, maybe 20 pounds of this.
Wait
stuff.
a second. Is this that huge buy you made a while ago?
No. I just have a lot of powder. No.
What would Shooter's World be similar to?
Well, the Shooter's World is like Hodgdon's, right? It's kind of the parent company for a whole lot of different powders. The one that most people know of is Clean Shot, and Clean Shot is like AA2, and I find AA2 to be a really quick burning powder. It does work, but I think it burns a little bit too hot too fast for what I'd want it to do, and so I'm not super crazy with that. If you're using like a 125, if you're using something like a 135 or a 147 where it runs a little bit slower velocities, I think it works just fine. It's very clean. It meters exceptionally well. If you can get your hands on it, go ahead and do so. They make a whole bunch of other powders. There's a 300 blackout powder that I've done some experimenting with. I think it works fine. It's like most sub 300 blackout powders. It just works. But the Shooter's World works fine. I don't have anything bad to say about it, other than I just didn't think that it was the most ideal powder for a 125 grain 9mm production bullet.
The Shooter's World website makes it look like they want to supply to OEMs.
They have another website that they use that is kind of it kind of is directed more towards the shooter. And I cannot remember what it is, but I think the parent company is Lovex or Shooter's World. It's something like that.
Oh,
but
Lovex.
yeah, Gallant Bullets got a whole chunk of the stuff in a number of years ago, and so we were doing a bunch of testing with it, and it just for one reason or another we didn't really pursue it or anything like that. But it's a fine powder. I mean, there's nothing really essentially wrong with it.
Clean Shot, Ultimate Pistol, Auto Pistol, Major Pistol, Heavy Pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have Buffalo Rifle, Blackout Rifle, Match Rifle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have an AR one that works really, really well. It meters really well. I've got a lot of the basically the not for sale of all those powders, so you couldn't actually sell it on the market. But I've got a handful of it, and I've tested a lot
not
of
labeled for retail, just in a brown paper bag or what?
No, it's in a little great jugs, just not for resale. It was all just testing stuff.
You know those when you see like those spice markets in the Middle East where they have like the pyramids or the cones of spice and they have a little scoop. That's what they give it to you. What would you like? I would take about 9,000 grains, and they like count it down. They go shh, and they put it in a plastic bag, and then the guy's smoking while he's doing it. So that's about how good it is.
That one over there, that's your clean shot. This is your ultimate pistol now. This is the auto pistol. That's a mad dog right there, I'm telling you.
But no, if you can get honest to goodness, I mean, if you can get your hands on powder right now, I'd probably say just get it and just deal with it. But I mean, I've got so much good powder, I don't really deal with those low grade powders anymore.
So next question.
That was my slight flex.
We know we just
flex.
wanted to move on from it as quickly as
Tell us
possible.
about your extra barrel that you bought to go with your extra slide again. Go ahead.
Well, you know, I had the choice between a threaded barrel and a non-threaded barrel, and I'm like, well, I got the money, so I got the threaded barrel. I got both. No. From Doug Dowski. He said, "Has anyone been to to Slipsa yet and seen the new bays? They look to be tiny in comparison to what they used to be." And then the chat group got all over him, and so he was actually asking about SUPs and how SUPs the county went and destroyed all their bays.
No, really?
Yeah, they did a rough job with them, and they're not practical shooting friendly. They're really narrow. And so that was
kind of bays with the berms are like 4 feet high, and you can shoot someone the next bay over, or what?
I just think that they're too narrow and too tiny.
No.
And so I understand they were in talks to make them bigger.
How did Ken let that happen? I mean, he must have been communicating with them.
No, Ken's gone. Ken's long since gone.
Gone?
Oh yeah, he's not a part of that anymore.
Oh.
Glenn Wong runs it now.
How did Glenn let that happen?
He didn't have any choice. The county basically, they took the plans and said, you know, F this noise, we'll do what we want. That's my understanding of it.
So what you're telling me, it's
we'll be able to hit the Rams at the next Barry's Steel Open.
Yeah, they'll be close enough that you can hit it, and then you can also do Steel Challenge friendly bays.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
So, that's too bad.
That is. Next question.
From Robert Moreno over on the Facebook. Can't believe you guys still go there. Regarding CO and production, have any of you changed your mag positions? Would any of you participate in the USPSA 2-gun match?
I haven't pulled out my gear to change positions on them. I'm guessing that I would probably move the first magazine pouch maybe like an inch farther forward. Besides that, like just at the corner of the hip, maybe a little past that. So probably not too much. Would I be willing to shoot USPSA 2-gun? Yeah, I would love to shoot USPSA 2-gun. I would love to have primers to shoot USPSA 2-gun. That would be great.
I forwarded Tom a text from a friend of mine last week who said he had primers. He could get primers for 17 cents each. And I said, "Gall, Tom, do you want in on this deal?"
I was like,
Jim,
said, "No thanks."
Tell Jim that he's a profiteering bastard.
$170 per 1,000. Let me sit there. No. But I did happen to, after I received that text, I was like, well, how much is loaded ammo now? Because I haven't looked at what loaded ammo was. I was looking around online, and like 1,000 rounds of 230 grain 45 ACP was like only $630. So 63 cents. That was
to be had.
That was the deal that I saw first. So hopefully with every ammunition plant running 24 hours a day, it seems like when you go into a shop, you can still find some 45, some 9, some 223. So hopefully the market is being satiated and stuff's going to start coming back to us.
For me, honestly, if I move any of my pouches, it would probably be to bring number 5 up to number 1, and just and push it forward just a tiny bit. And so basically, if I'm running production, I'm not reaching so far back around.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't know.
I'm just number 5 up in front of your hip bone.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would sit in front of the number 1 position essentially. So I basically it would be in front of the hip bone 2, 3, 4. That's all.
I've thought
I
about
just
essentially doing the same thing, putting 2 in front of my belt loop instead of just 1.
yeah.
But I don't know that I'm in a big hurry to do that. I mean, it might happen at some point, but
I'm
I'm
just
so
not.
used to
I'm not
reaching
that
for the
good
same place.
that.
I'm not in a big hurry to like have to adapt.
Yeah.
Well, here's the question I have for like single stack. So let's say this. So let's say you're in single stack and you have 6 magazine pouches on your body and you're out shooting some crazy match where you're going to have to load it. Would it be advantageous to put that 5 or 6 pouch in front of your holster on your right hand side? So you think about it, it's like what would be easier to do? Like you're sitting there, you're shooting, gun runs out, and instead of doing the, for lack of a better term, reach around. So instead of doing that, do I grab it? Do I just simply move my hand over to the right side of my belt, draw another magazine, and then insert it, and then start going like that? So I think like that would be like an idea for like production. Your fifth mag, single stack, your fifth and sixth mag is just having it in front of the holster.
Well, in IDPA, can't you have one revolver reload immediately in front of the in front of the holster?
Yeah,
I think you can.
yeah. So
I
I
imagine USPSA would allow that too. You just need to have that Blake Huff thing where you pull one out and the spring keeps pushing them around
That thing's legit.
along your gut line, and they just keep ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. And actually, you get 2 at once because you have a double high stack.
yeah. Well, eventually now I was like, is there anything that would probably preclude that from happening? But yeah, I if I do
If your
anything,
gut gets too big,
yeah, if I
you have
do
to put a
anything,
bigger bend in that thing. Have it really. Oh, that might actually help you hold more ammo because the
yeah,
circumference gets bigger and bigger.
yeah,
See,
you're
I have it
about
all. I have it all figured out. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna wait till the middle of December when everybody's went and pulled all of their mags around to the front, and it's now sitting on their stomach. And then I'm gonna design a stage, and the very first position, you're gonna immediately go prone, and you're gonna have to shoot from your stomach. Then you're gonna
Yep.
get up, and you're gonna run to the next position, and you're gonna go prone again.
And you're gonna run 45 yards in between them.
Uh-huh. And see, I have this all figured out. Basically, they're gonna destroy all their mag pouches, and they're gonna stop that stuff.
good,
It's
good.
it's a
Good
theoretical
on you,
notion.
Robert.
Yeah,
This makes my heart warm.
yeah. I would just change one to the front of the.
No, I think bringing the number 5 and sticking it where number 1 is. I think that makes a lot of sense.
In front of number 1.
In front of number 1, yeah. I realize kind of how it makes sense in my head, but then when I actually put words to it, it gets really confusing. I can see that, but
Because that's where you EDC your spare mag, right?
yeah, okay.
Sorry. Founder's intent.
Let's see, from Andrew Fisher. How do you stay motivated in training and competition? I tend to get a bit of the efforts late in the day.
Don't turn on the TV. There's a good one. It's like as soon, whatever you do, no matter how tired, as soon as you turn on the TV, you've lost all motivation for the rest of the night. So the later you can turn on the TV, the better. It's like sometimes you can not turn on the TV and go to like practicing and then read a book, and then you would go right to sleep, and then you would wake up early. But it's whenever you turn on the TV. That's the bane of all existence.
I'm going to say drink light beer.
That seems legit. I would say go to the store, get yourself a notebook, and write the date on it, and then make a commitment that every single day you're going to write something about what you did in practicing, and never go to bed until you've written something in there.
Here's
And
my pro
I find
tip.
that it's a very good way to actually stay motivated.
Here's a good pro tip. Leave the notebook in the car.
Here's
Do what
another-
you want, bro. Stuff. It's worked for me.
I mean, over the last couple of years, I've learned to use the Apple reminders. Are they reminders? What are they called? I don't even know what they're called anymore. Reminders?
Going
But
out of
they're pretty
style.
helpful. As a matter of fact, I have one that goes off every day that tells me to do push-ups. I hit a lifetime high of 50 hand release push-ups in 2 minutes. today.
Hand release push-ups?
Legit 50 hand release push-ups.
What are hand release push-ups?
Yeah.
You lay in between every push-up, you lay all the way down on the ground and you lift your hands up off the ground.
Oh yeah. Okay,
And
I
then-
gotcha.
and then you lift all the way up. That's the Army's new push-up for the last couple years or something.
Is that so women can like actually like make the qualification, or
Well,
I mean, I'm
no,
like legit serious because
That's-
No, they're harder. They're very hard to cheat. There's
Gotcha.
only about 2 things you can do to cheat them, and they're
Oh,
very
because
easy
you
to
can.
spot
Yeah,
if
'cause
people
normally
are doing them.
you could bounce. I mean,
you
on a
could like
normal-
short stroke. You
thing.
could short stroke the
You're not going down
push-ups.
properly, so that makes sense.
Yeah, so if you go all the way down, I see it halfway. I did not start the running 2 miles every day this year, but I have managed to do yoga a bunch. I'm probably like on my 50 or 60th session, which is great because now the only 2 spots in my back that bug me are where the tendons are arthritic and attached to the bone. So besides those 2 points,
The only spots in my back that hurt me are where the nerves are connected.
yeah, but
I mean,
it's been pretty good.
4 or 5 months ago when I started this, I couldn't do 50 hand release push-ups ever,
Yeah.
much less in 2 minutes. I mean, I just couldn't do 50 in a set, and now I can do about a little over 60, and I hit 50 in 2 minutes.
Man, now
quit
I gotta
now.
try it.
They're not
I think
nice.
I think I'll go. I think I'll get to 5 and like, yep, that's it, done.
Just YouTube hand release push-up and Army.
I'll have
From
to try
C
that.
Strick, should I buy a TV for the man cave or a shotgun for 3 gun?
A shotgun? Why would you even put the two? Never buy a TV if the other thing is a shotgun.
I would say this: by the time that you get enough shotgun ammo to participate in 3-gun enough to feel good about it, you'll be able to buy the TV and then buy the shotgun. So just get while the getting's good, everybody. It's like the government's sending you free money. It's like if you're gonna buy a TV, like a good TV is like $500, $600 for like a 50-inch Samsung 4K resolution. A good monitor, like a 27-inch monitor, is about $300, $400 for a nice high-resolution monitor. So like you almost have the money to buy both. I don't know what, unless you're gonna get some customized tactical shotgun from. I don't know a good shotgun that's gonna cost you over like $1,500. Like that's a lot of shotgun. So.
All right, last question from Sebastian Munoz. Robert Wyatt, when are you running for Area 1 Director? Anybody who would vote for me probably shouldn't be a part of the org.
Vote for the troll. Vote for the troll.
Could you imagine how badly that would be? That would be if I was the Area 1 Director.
That would not be good.
That would, yeah.
I'm gonna go on record and say that would be a bad situation.
It's the only area that will refuse attendance to other certain members. They're completely blocked out. Just excommunicated from Area 1. It's like, oh, we'd love to have your business, but actually we wouldn't. Stay out of our area.
It's because it's like I have to like do it in places that I hate. So I don't like Oregon. I don't like Washington. Idaho's only so-so. Salt Lake's pretty good. I guess Montana, but that's probably cold up there. So we'd only be having the Area 1 championship in like Salt Lake.
Well, I would hold it in Idaho just for Jack in a Box. That's the greatest part about the old Idaho. And what the greatest part of this show is that's over. So thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for subscribing. We appreciate it. We'd like to wish Kenny Terry a good night at work because that's what he's doing. He's underneath some tranny, trying to sort out work.
Be blessed.
Trying to. It's just one of those nights when you have tranny fluid leaking all over your face. So anyway, for Robert Wyatt, Steve Koski, I'm Tom Nelson, bidding you peace, love, and soul as we depart into the open waters of the Sea of Life on a little boat we like to call the PARAcast.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Good night, everybody.